New models from Harley, not this year, but coming up soon. I just finished watching a webinar about what Harley has to say about the new models, what to expect, lots of information coming straight from Harley, happening right now. For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Maxwell. I'm a highly trained unprofessional right here at Chattahoochee Harley Davidson. And on this channel, I bring you guys to work with me. So if you want to learn more about Harley Davidson, you should hit the subscribe button right now. Well, except for today. Today we're starting at work and then I'm gonna go home because it's the end of the day and everything I need to tell you guys is on the computer. So, I'm out. All right, I should mention, I actually heard about this from Moto Newbrider. So Moto Newbrider sent a link from Motorcycle News into the WhatsApp. And that's me, Blockhead, Dan the Fireman, Biking Bird, and Moto Newbrider, of course. So, you know, it's like first thing in the morning. New models from Harley Davidson, like a month before dealer show. That's insane. First up, the model straight from the same website he sent me to, Motorcycle News. The Harley Davidson Pan America 1250 adventure bike, which is, well, we've all been speculating, you know, what the Pan America is going to be because they trademarked the term, and you know, it could be a lot of things. So this is it. Now I should mention everything that I'm going to show you on this website is a prototype model. I'm going to go through the models that I saw first, and then later in the day we had a webinar that straight from, you know, Harley Davidson, the CEO, the VP of operations. They had a Q&A session, lots of good information, but just in case you guys have been asleep or hiding under a rock and don't know about the new models, I'll run through them real quick. First up, they have an adventure bike, 1250 cc, liquid cooled. I mean, the Pan America. We've been speculating what the trademarked term, the Bronx, the Pan America, and the 48X.
One thing that I do think that we'll see is either a flat track style or an off-road-ish, like a scrambler style. And I personally think that's where we're gonna see the Pan America.
Well, this is it. The Fat Bob style headlight, a kind of weird fairing, turn signals integrated in. Have I already mentioned this is a prototype? This might not be exactly what it is, but it is for sure. That is a new engine. That's not, we don't know anything about that. Obviously, knobby tires. Seat height is probably pretty high, like a dual sport or adventure bike would be. Passenger pegs, very different from Harley Davidson stuff. Now, well, let's just go through the bikes. I'll throw opinion later. As a matter of fact, I'll probably put it on the screen that like opinion versus what I know to be true. So this is the Pan America. This is the custom 1250. Now, it looks like a 48 front end. No, it doesn't. It looks like a Roadster front end, but with a Fat Bob headlight. Look at that swing arm, dude. Woohoo. It looks to be the same engine as what's on the adventure bike. Yeah, just a different finish. And that's the kind of stuff that prototype would definitely change and be, you know, it might not look like this at the end, but it looks liquid cooled again. Crazy pipes. Oh, the electric bike range. Check this out. So we knew that they were going to come out with an electric bike, an electric bike. It would appear that they are going into like full blown like bicycles and everything. This one, like, some of them are pedal assist, some of them are electric only. They look like different capacity batteries or motors or whatever that might be. Crazy looking. The electric bike we were expecting, the Livewire, and the Street Fighter 975. So the Livewire we kind of already knew about. The surprises are the Pan America, the Custom 1250, the Street Fighter 975, and then the like full line of electric vehicles from Harley. Street Fighter looks to be the same Style engine is the 1250, just a smaller version. And yeah, I mean, it's a crotch rocket. What obviously the first thing that comes to mind to me is it actually going to compete with like a leader bike? If we know Harley Davidson, it's probably not. Is it going to be a better performer than Buell? I certainly hope so. All right, really quick. Of course, the website has more information than just the pictures, which you've probably already seen shared on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. I quickly read it. I was at work. So I really, it's crazy how like the whole world knew as soon as the dealers knew, and I figured that out why later on. It turns out, I can't believe I never knew this actually. So because Harley is a publicly shared company, there's shareholders, and you know, basically Harley can't release any information to dealers only, because then you have like basically insider trader like knowledge. You know, you would know what's about to happen with the market because you know what Harley is about to say. And in that webinar, they repeated that a few times. They mentioned that they were sorry that we didn't get a heads up, or that basically we had people calling the dealership asking questions that we didn't, like, you know, we weren't even aware that this had happened. Now, before I get any farther along, I do want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that based on what this article says and what the motor company told the dealers today online, that the Softail and touring frame, we can expect no changes. The exact phrase was something along the lines of, our existing customers, don't be worried. Harley isn't like full-blown like, screw everything we've done for all these years, we're going totally radical. Exact phrase was something along the lines of, our existing customers, don't be worried. Harley isn't like full-blown like, screw everything we've done for all these years, we're going totally radical. This is a new market that they want to be in, be a part of, be competitive in. As a matter of fact, it was like last year, I think, that Harley set the goal. They mentioned the 100 new models in 10 years. Yeah, by 2027. So it was last year, 2017, they said they want 2 million new riders in the brand. They want, basically they set themselves goals, and this is strictly for new customers, a market that they have not been able to reach. I posted a few videos over the last year of this channel talking about gripes with Harley, trying to explain to you guys the motor company side, the dealership side, the customer side. I try my best to put myself in everyone's shoes and kind of see the angles that everyone might be experiencing. And well, as I've talked about it, I keep hearing about Harley should make an adventure bike, Harley should do this, Harley should do that. Well, this is that. I thought people were crazy when they're, oh yeah, Harley adventure bike, sure thing, whatever. Yeah, they're going to do that. Here they are. They're classifying all of these models as middleweights. Basically, Harley says that heavyweights will be unchanged. They're just introducing a new middleweight line. As a matter of fact, they did say that all of these models are to be released between 2020 and 2022. So dealer show happening at the end of the month. Little Bird told me that there will be more information and potentially prototypes to look at and see and talk about and all that stuff, but none of it will be out in 2019. During the webinar, they talked about how the Pan America and the Street Fighter will be released in the year 2020, not necessarily model year 2020. The electric bike is to come out next year, he said. The full line of EVs, which sounds really weird to talk about, Harley Davidson EVs, that whole line should be out by the year 2022. Anyway, they're not going to be out in 2019. I am pretty stoked though to potentially see them at the dealer show. I'll be there. Well, the smallest one. As far as new middleweights go, it does say in the article, and they confirmed in the webinar both, that there is as low as a 500cc model, which is cool. That's a market that hasn't, well, okay, the street exists, but yeah, there might be more, which would be good. It'd be nice to have choices within Harley Davidson. All right, I didn't actually realize originally that this website actually talks about the changing retail environment. They talked about it pretty in depth in the webinar, because that's a big behind the scenes within the business, the relationship between the motor company and then dealers, because dealers are privately owned. So there's this kind of protection that the motor company is responsible for to protect the brand, so that the dealers can maximize their own personal business. Because at the end of the day, each dealer is a small business to a degree. Obviously some are bigger than others, but those are local owners with local employees that the motor company in Milwaukee has to make sure that all of them remain happy and can be a profitable business. In today's economy, it's very important to be on the internet and to be able to buy things on the internet. And in the webinar, they acknowledge that they have to change how you're able to shop for Harley Davidson stuff. So they have, or will be, unveiling an app. They will be improving HD.com, which I just tried to look up clothes on HD.com on my phone. It was really weird. Like, I couldn't figure out how to get out of motorcycles. It was like they just wanted to sell me a motorcycle, which is kind of aggravating. I don't need to shop for a motorcycle on my phone, but I did want to know the cost of gloves or something. So it sounds like there is an app coming that will make it easier to figure out what it is you want, which is good. That'll be helpful in reaching new people. And they had a bunch of stats and stuff that's just like boring. Like, that's too business for this channel. Anyway, I'm excited about that. They even mentioned potential third-party online retailers. They did say during the Q&A that they have not signed any contracts or decided which third-party retailers that would be. But up to this point, if you find a Harley Davidson branded, say, t-shirt anywhere but HD.com or a dealer's website, then it's probably a fake. Obviously, I could sell a previously owned t-shirt or whatever on eBay, but as far as a actual, like, legitimate third-party website that's not like private individual selling on it, it's gonna be a fake. Harley also announced producing a range of lower capacity bikes around 250 cc's for emerging markets. Emerging markets being India, Asia, and South America. So I've talked about on the channel before about the factory in Thailand. I don't know if I've ever mentioned India or not, but there's this like anger among the Harley crowd that they're building factories elsewhere, and this assumption that they're building factories elsewhere to produce bikes there and then ship them back to us. What I cannot stress enough is that Harley's on a global like they're worldwide. For a place like Asia, a Harley has been so expensive in Asia for the entire existence of Harley Davidson that only the elite can afford one because of taxes and import duties and stuff like that. Well, if you build the model in Asia, there is no import duties, no tariffs, it's just a bike that was built in Asia with Harley Davidson on the tank, with like the most people, concentrated number of people in the world right there that have drooled over Harley Davidson forever. Now you're talking about an entire area of the world that, I don't know, rides a lot of bicycles for sure because of the types of roads they have and whatnot. Now you're talking about having electric bicycles potentially built in Asia, sold in Asia, a 250cc model. Like, for worldwide Harley, that's big news. That's the kind of thing that will help carry the company so that we in America, our profitable Harley Davidson, can continue doing R&D on the bikes that we like. I guess I'll just go ahead and like cruise into that aspect of this. So I mentioned touring and softail models aren't changing. They're coming out with new models for newcomers, new people to the brand. Bah. That means don't freak out about the Pan America that you don't want. They didn't build it for you, guy that doesn't want it. They did build it for someone that does, though. So you don't have to like threaten to sell your bagger to, I don't know, it just seems like every time Harley tries something new, everyone kind of like knocks them down for trying something new. I don't know, maybe all companies are like that. I'm just more invested in Harley, so I notice it more. I kind of spend a lot of time with Harley, in case you guys hadn't noticed. So now what I'm curious about, though, is why now? Why the month of the dealer show are we talking about models that aren't going to be out for 2 years from now, potentially? Like, or why they picked now? They didn't talk about that today, and I don't know. But as far as my opinion goes on the matter, when the dyno was killed off and the Softail got revamped, it just seemed natural that the Sportster was next. I don't necessarily think the Sportster is gone by any means. Obviously, now that we've released new models, the Sportster is definitely not gone, but it does seem to be getting a total redesign. A 1250cc, does that mean there's still room for the 1200 or the 883? I don't know. I think between used bike sales, it wouldn't matter if the Sportster line was gone. As far like the one we know today, that model still exists hardcore. It prevents new bike sales to a degree. It's virtually unchanged for a very long time. We saw a little pickup in it in 2014, couple little things. ABS came out on it, BCM, the electronics were updated is what I mean. I kind of welcome it with the hype that the Indian Scout gets around the internet. Which it's well deserving. It's a powerful machine. It looks good. In my personal opinion, there's a lot of plastic on it. It still looks kind of cheap, and it's not actually that much less expensive than a Sportster, but it does super outperform it. But Harley has the Revolution engine. They've had it since, I don't know, since India went bankrupt like 2 times ago. They've had that engine, but they put it in a V-rod frame, like this long drag bike basically. Why is the Revolution engine not in the Sportster? Well, it looks like it's almost happened. That engine looks like a 60-degree V-twin. The prototype version looks better to me than the Revolution did. All I know is I'm excited, super excited about this. And you should be too, not necessarily because you want a model, like, cause I don't want any of those, but that's my brand. That's your brand. That's Harley Davidson pushing the limits and actually trying something new, even though they know good and well their core customers, they're gonna bitch and complain and be mad about it, even though nothing is changing. There's a matter of excitement, even though I don't want one. I'm looking forward to a new market of rider. The point of this channel is to introduce Harley Davidson and motorcycles in general to more people than I could meet in person. So I'm excited that Harley Davidson is trying to meet new people too, and I'm looking really forward to, like, I get to ride those bikes whether I buy one or not. So reason I love my job, number 177. Anyway, guys, that's the video. If you liked it, good big dirty thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, actually it's not always like this. If you want to see more content about Harley Davidson in general, tech stuff, sales stuff, sometimes business stuff apparently, make sure to hit the subscribe button, tap the bell notification so you can join the Bell Squad and be notified when I upload. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.